Hello sports fans, welcome to the OU Football Preview Show. I'm Rick Heath, with me Mark Rogers, and we are at the Trails Golf Club in Norman, a beautiful, beautiful golf course for the whole family. As you can see, they had the Women's Open Oklahoma Women's Open Golf Tournament today. It's a fun thing here at the Trails. So they're also going to have the men's 4-ball here next week at the Trails. So we wanted to come by and salute the Trails Golf Club in Norman. And it's also a great place if you want to watch the OU game or NFL, Monday Night Football, all that here at the clubhouse at the Trails. Mark, I think the Sooner Land is kind of disappointed in what's happened the last couple of weeks, and especially after a 16-12 victory over Houston where offense was a bit listless. Defense played okay, but the offense left a lot to be desired for many, many reasons. And now we have the Tulane Green Wave coming into town. It's going to be a lot bigger test, and I think the word of the week is trepidation.
Well, trepidation is probably kind compared to how some fans feel after the game on Saturday night. Third down has been a big problem this year. Offensive line play, running the football has been a big problem. So the competition is just getting tougher every week. Tulane is going to be a good opponent. Tennessee is going to be even better the following week. So they have to sort some things out on the offensive line with guys that are hurt. I think they will get Nick Anderson back this week against Tulane. That'll help a lot.
Does he play tackle?
No, but he can't. He can't stretch the field. You're going to have to be able to respect him and cover him. So I think that vertical passing game has been missing as well. But the offense definitely has had some problems with injuries so far this year, and they got a lot to prove.
Well, and not a whole lot of time to improve. Now, Brent Venables in his press conference this week sounded somewhat optimistic that they would get some guys back, but they lost the second-team center for the year.
Yeah.
So, those are the kind of things that, you don't practice with having third and fourth team guys with your first team, offense. So it's kind of hard to adjust that on the fly in a game situation.
Well, Garen Hatcher he was a second team center, but he was also a starting guard. So that, you have to start to step up and have some guys that meet those expectations that have been in the program for a while. Taylor, Jacob Sexton, who also got hurt in the game on Saturday night. Those guys have to be better. So we're going to see some young players, I think, on the offensive line.
And hopefully they have a little bit better health on that line. Hey, we are at the Trails Golf Club here for the OU Football Preview Show, and you too can come down the Trails. If you're interested in having a private club as your golf club, you can find out at the Trails. Ask Zane about it at the Trails, 364-3790. We'll be right back. Hi, friends. Did you know that over 80 million men and women suffer from hair loss? Well, now there's help. Dr. Victoria Johnson and her staff at Laser Light Skin Clinic are introducing a revolutionary laser hair loss treatment called Alma TED. Alma TED uses a proprietary laser that will help stop hair loss and promote growth. For more information, give Dr. Victoria Johnson and her staff at Laser Light a call and stop hair loss today.
You are the most beautiful creation under the sun. Daily Jamformations. You are going to make Table 14 so happy. And you are being taken away. All right. At Neighborhood Jam, you deserve breakfast as beautiful as you. So start the day right with scratch-made favorites, morning or midday, every day. Treat yourself to Neighborhood Jam. You're gonna taste just as good tomorrow.
Come see Paul at the Mattress Place. He is Sooner born and wants to take care of his fellow Oklahomans. The Mattress Place has a nice queen pillow top mattress starting as low as $2.99 and kings for only $3.99. They carry Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and much more. The Mattress Place has a large selection and fast delivery. Located between Penn and Western on Southwest 59th Street. Buy your groceries in your neighborhood, but buy your mattresses at the Mattress Place. We have a new sponsor I want to feature here, Halo Body Scan. If you're worried about things about your body that you may be feeling bad, or you have some things that you want to check out, go to Halo Body Scan on 3400 West Hefner Road in Oklahoma City. Skip the overpriced and endless test. Halo Body Scan offers one comprehensive body scan at a fair price and no pressure for extra tests. Take control of your health with Halo Body Scan. Find out about your body's health today. Give them a call, 477-1100. That's 405-477-1100. Also, we will be at Coach's Corner next Monday night. So if you want to come and watch us film our show and be ready for Monday Night Football, Coach's Corner on Lindsay and Barry here in Norman. A great new place Corey Wilson and his partners are opening up, and it's going to be a fun place to go, and I'm looking forward to it. Mark, a couple things about the offensive line. As bad as it's been, it's awful hard to get disparate parts working together quickly, and so we may not see a whole lot better in this week or even maybe against Tennessee, but golly, as the season progresses, hopefully they'll have some kind of cohesion and be able to do some things that would make that offense less anemic.
Well, the OU running game it progressed last year to the point where Gavin Sawchuk really started to pick up momentum at the end of the season. They didn't run it well at the beginning of the year against a less difficult schedule than at the end of the year against better teams. So you're right. I think being able to be out there together, playing against the opposite team instead of just practicing, can help this offensive line. But being healthy, I think especially at the wide receiver position, which they're down 3 players or have been so far this season that are really good, all of that could help. There's nowhere to go but up. I mean, this really has been very, very poor. And so you think that the track record of coaching that Bill Bedenbaugh has and Jerry Schmidt, strength and conditioning, that this group is going to get better as the season goes along. And the most important thing is they didn't lose. So they're 2-0. We'll see. They've got to get past Tulane this week, which will be not easy.
Well, if they can get past Tulane, I mean, Tennessee's really, really good. Everybody knows that. No harm in losing to Tennessee. You're at home, but they are a very good team. But then you got to go win some more games, and you got to get healthy and be ready for Texas and all that. One of the things that Brent Venables mentioned in his press conference that I think kind of put his finger on a part of a conundrum that he has is that he's wanting to go good on good to get these young guys more ready for a game situation. And when you go good on good, you get that really good preparation, but you also increase the chances of somebody getting hurt or more hurt. Or you can't get them back in. So that's kind of one of the things that they're having to deal with is they're wanting to get these linemen ready to play against top competition by playing the one offense and one defense. But at the same time, these guys are running the risk when you're going good on good of somebody else getting hurt.
Well, I'm a fan of good on good in practice. I mean, you have to limit it. You don't want to scrimmage every day. I mean, there's a reason why you play once a week instead of 3 times. But injuries can occur at any time, whether it's good on good or 1 on 2. A lot of injuries happen and really no contact drills. So I think that's a good thing. I don't think we saw much of that defensively with Lincoln Riley here. We've seen this program.
Did they play defense with Lincoln? I can't remember.
We've seen this program switch culturally from an offensive program to a defensive program, and we're seeing that in evidence every Saturday. Is that there's more depth on the defensive side of the ball. There's more talent on the defensive side of the ball right now, and there's more NIL money on the defensive side of the ball. And so that's something that they're going to have to figure out the balance in having both a good offense and a good defense. It was the same thing the opposite way, maybe even more so to a fault for Lincoln.
Yeah, all offense, and so we play defense, get off the field, let's go back to play offense.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you look at, and Seth Luttrell is got a good experience in calling plays. He's well experienced. He was a former head coach. He's got a good background, but he has yet to be able to implement his style of offense with what they're doing. So, I called Seth last night and said, Seth, hey, here's what we need to do, okay? Short, quick plays, all right? Quick shots out of the backfield to the running backs or to the wide receivers. The little hitch to Burks worked well. A little 5-yard hitch, let him get a break. A pitch out to the running backs, something quick hitting, something where you don't have to have a long, the line to protect Jackson Arnold all that time, and get that going first and see what happens, and just get the confidence in the running backs running the ball and seeing some progress on that offensive side.
Well, as much as we've taken phone calls on the radio station about people trying to figure out what to do, like you're trying to figure out what to do, Seth Luttrell's also trying to figure out what to do. So there's going to be some wrinkles there. Seth's coached under Mike Leach. He's coached under Kevin Wilson. And so he's been with some of the brightest minds in college football. So it's not necessarily that, he has one way that he wants to do things. I mean, I think he's got a lot to draw from to try to figure out hey, what do we want to do to make this work? And let's see what happens as the next couple of games unfold. I think that they'll be better.
I think they will too, and it'll be one of those situations, Mark, where maybe it's incremental. Maybe it's incremental improvement. If they can rush, I said 200 yards the first game against Houston, or not against Temple, but against Houston. They didn't get it. I would take 150 yards at this point, just rushing, just to get something on the board where they feel like they can move the ball.
Yeah, no, and they need to get to that century mark because these first two opponents are not very good on the defensive side of the ball. So it's going to be a challenge to do it against Tulane. It'll be a bigger challenge to do against Tennessee, who has a first-round draft pick on the defensive line.
Yeah.
But again, the OU fans' expectations are high, spoiled. The last few offensive coordinators you've had is Josh Heupel, who's going to bring that Tennessee team in, who got released from Oklahoma because the offense wasn't going very good. Matter of fact, his last game was the lowest total yards that OU's had since Saturday night. Then you had
Let's remind him of that when
Lincoln
he shows
Riley,
up.
and then you had Jeff Lebby, and Jeff Lebby spent 2 years offensive coordinator and got hired as a head coach in the SEC. So, expectations are high. Seth knows what he's doing. He's going to get it worked out.
And I think they will too. It's just the OU fans a little impatient, but but they're winning. And
they deserve to be upset with the performance on Saturday.
Yeah. Hey, Halo Body Scan, a new client here for us here on OU Preview Show at 3400 West Hefner Road. They give you a body scan of your entire body, and if it can detect any kind of imperfection that you have, whether we don't want to say the C word, but it can, anything that is wrong with your body, the Halo Body Scan can find out with that scan and help pinpoint it for you. And they do it at a fair price, no pressure for further testing, and you can control your health by going to Halo Body Scan and getting a scan at a fair price. Give them a call today, 477-1100.
There's a lot to love about the Trails Golf Club.
It's the golf.
Yeah, the golf.
It's the grill.
It's the golf, of course. It really is the golf. Come check out our sizzling summer membership specials at the Trails Golf Club.
Come see Paul at the Mattress Place. He is Sooner born and wants to take care of his fellow Oklahomans. The Mattress Place has a nice queen pillow top mattress starting as low as $2.99 and kings for only $3.99. They carry Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and much more. The Mattress Place has a large selection and fast delivery. Located between Penn and Western on Southwest 59th Street. Buy your groceries in your neighborhood, but buy your mattresses at the Mattress Place. Hi friends. Did you know that over 80 million men and women suffer from hair loss? Well, now there's help. Dr. Victoria Johnson and her staff at Laser Light Skin Clinic are introducing a revolutionary laser hair loss treatment called Alma TED. Alma TED uses a proprietary laser that will help stop hair loss and promote growth. For more information, give Dr. Victoria Johnson and her staff at Laser Light a call and stop hair loss today.
You are the most beautiful creation under the sun. Daily Informations. You are going to make Table 14 so happy. And you are being taken away.
All right. At Neighborhood Jam, you deserve breakfast as beautiful as you. So start the day right with scratch-made favorites, morning or midday, every day. Treat yourself to Neighborhood Jam.
You're gonna taste just as good tomorrow.
Come see Paul at the Mattress Place. He is Sooner born and wants to take care of his fellow Oklahomans. The Mattress Place has a nice queen pillow top mattress starting as low as $2.99 and kings for only $3.99. They carry Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and much more. The Mattress Place has a large selection and fast delivery. Located between Penn and Western on Southwest 59th Street. Buy your groceries in your neighborhood, but buy your mattresses at the Mattress Place. And welcome back, OU Football Preview Show. Rick Heath, Mark Rogers from the Trails Golf Club here in Norman. A beautiful 18-hole championship course. As you can see behind us and around, beautifully green, watered fairways and plush greens. It's just a wonderful place to come play golf. If you have an interest in being part of the Trails Golf Club, give Zane a call at 364 3790. That's 405-364-3790. Also, next Monday night, we will be at Coach's Corner, Lindsay and Barry here in Norman, for a new grand opening for Coach's Corner. And we'll be there Monday night for Monday Night Football. We'll come by and be a part of it. Mark and I will be there talking OU football. And hopefully we'll be talking about undefeated OU going into a match with Josh Heupel's Tennessee Volunteers. Let's talk about the bright side for a minute. Let's go to the bright side and talk defense, because OU's defense has shown really good tendencies so far. They've got 6 takeaways in 2 games, and they have played several lineups very deep into them and got a lot of depth.
Well, there's depth across the board. I think that they've been really good at all levels. Freshman has been good on the defensive line. Gerard Johnson's been really good. I think that if you look at the linebacking core, Grayson Halton of the edge has made a lot of plays. So they're getting tackles for losses. They're getting penetration. It's been good so far.
Well, and Tulane's a good offensive team.
Yeah.
They're averaging 490-something yards a game in the 2 games they've played. They got a great coaching staff that came over from Troy, and they're averaging 7.9 yards per snap. So OU's defense is going to have to be really focused on what they can do and well balanced in order to shut down a really good Green Wave offense.
Mario Williams at wide receiver that played at Oklahoma for a little while before transferring to USC with Lincoln Riley. He was really highly recruited. He's going to be a big threat for OU to shut down. But I do think that this defense last year was really good at the beginning of the season. It kind of leaked oil as we went towards the end of the year. I think this defense is going to hold up through this season. So again, Oklahoma's offense, in a battle of resources, the offense isn't the same as it was under Lincoln Riley. OU fans are used to scoring 40 points a game. But this team can win games that are low scoring. And they did Saturday night against an inferior opponent, but they're going to have to do that against better people going forward.
It reminded me, going into the SEC, if you talk to an average OU fan, you say, okay, we're going into SEC. Would you rather have a high-powered offense and a leaky defense, or a really good defense, so-so offense?
Right.
They would have taken the defense 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, I think so. And I think we just have to let this play out and go forward and see how good this defense can hold up. I think it can. I think it's improved. They've got depth at positions now that they didn't a couple of years ago, and they're having more recruiting classes and more success on that side of the ball.
And they've been relatively injury-free on the defensive side for the most part.
Yeah.
They've got a couple of nicks and scratches here and there.
Gentry Williams is a big part of that defense has been banged up a little bit. But you're right. That's a good point. That for whatever reason, the offense has been beaten up. The defense hasn't.
Well, I think the defenses are bullies. I think the defense are bullies, and they're bullying the offense.
Punishment on the offense in practice.
But, if you have to have one side of the ball that is really, really solid, you take the defense right now and hope the offense comes along. And I think that's what most fans do. Hey, we are at the Trails Golf Club here in Norman. If you'd like to find out more about how to join the Trails, even for a day, give Zane a call at 405-364-3790, and he can let you know. Come down, take a tour, and find out more about the Trails Golf Club here in Norman. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Final segment, OU Football Preview Show. Mark Rogers, Rick Heath from the Trails Golf Club in Norman. I want to remind you again about Halo Body Scan. If you think you may need to have your body scanned, give Halo Body Scan a call, 405-477-1100, and find out how you can go get the most comprehensive body scan in the metro. It will show you whether or not you have reason to worry or whether you get a clean bill of health, and that always makes you feel better by knowing about how your body is. Take control of your own body and your own health. Call Halo Body Scan today, 477-1100. That's 405-477-1100. Mark, there's some. One of the things that one part of the team that we haven't talked much about is special teams.
Right.
Okay. Special teams are a third of the team for sure, and they can make or break a year. Right now, OU special teams look to be SEC ready.
I think they've been good. You had a really, really solid game punting against Houston. That's not something we want to talk about when we were analyzing the game. It's like, yeah, our punter.
Oh, we had
was
9
awesome.
punts.
He was eight punts, and a couple of those were inside the 20. And then the field goal kicking was really good in week 1 and all right in week 2. So there hasn't been much in the return game. And really, I think we'll try to figure out what's going on with kickoffs at some point. But anyway, I think that I agree. Special teams has been good so far.
Speaking of kickoffs, please don't go to the NFL kickoffs. College, you hear that? Don't go to the
Most
NFL
of the kicks end up in
kickoffs.
the end zone anyway.
Yeah,
There's just, I mean, it's not really relevant.
Hey, there are some there's some really good games coming up on the SEC network right here. Featured Alabama going to Wisconsin.
Wisconsin has struggled so far this season. They're 2-0, but they haven't really looked great. And Alabama was locked in a game with South Florida last week before scoring 28 in the fourth quarter. Alabama, I think, wins that one.
Well, Alabama wins it, but I like seeing them go to Wisconsin. SEC hasn't really been known to go outside their little bubble and go play teams. So I like that. Texas going to Michigan and did a really good job against a questionable Michigan team, and Alabama going up against a questionable Wisconsin team. But still, it's good to see them going out and playing some top-notch opponents.
One game that OU fans have kind of taken for granted this year is South Carolina, right? I mean, that's when Tennessee could be a really tough game. South Carolina, almost a guaranteed win.
Well, that's
they
what
went
they
on the
thought.
road last week and beat Kentucky pretty easily. They got LSU coming in to Columbia this weekend. That would be a huge win for Shane Beamer and his team if they can get that done. And they might. I mean, it could be a good game.
Go Beamer. Go Beamer. I'm not an LSU fan, and the more LSU can get whiplash, the better for me. So go Beamer in South Carolina. Boston College comes to Missouri. Boston College off of a good win earlier this year.
Well, Missouri had one of the easiest non-conference schedules in the SEC, but Boston College comes in ranked. They're 24th, and so they beat Florida State. Bill O'Brien has done a nice job in his first year there. We'll see if they can challenge Missouri. Brady Cook only has 1 touchdown pass as the quarterback at Mizzou this year, even though they've rolled against 2 really, inferior opponents so far.
Let's go Boston College. And then Texas A&M goes to Florida. Florida, gosh, that Bataan Death March kind of schedule that they've got.
Well, Florida last week went with a freshman at quarterback who was an OU commit, DJ Lagway, and had a lot of success. So Graham Mertz was the Wisconsin transfer that was okay last year. Florida's got a lot of issues. This is, Florida really a do-or-die game for them at home because the schedule is so tough. They've already played Miami. They got to play Florida State, and they got to play UCF later in the year, which will be a big game for the Knights.
Well, I'm curious about Texas A&M because they got beat by Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Good game.
Yeah.
Good game. But Notre Dame then turns around and gets beat by.
That's the very dangerous transitive property that you're talking about. All right. If Notre Dame beats A&M and then Northern Illinois beats Notre Dame, then Northern Illinois should beat A&M. I don't know what happened to Notre Dame last week. I think that they just kind of relaxed a little bit. But A&M's offense is a legit concern. Connor Wegman, their quarterback, was not good throwing the football. And so it's hard for them just to get it right.
He was pretty good last year.
No, he was. He looked like he had some potential to break out. The A&M defense is good. I expect A&M to win this game. I think they're better than Florida. Florida's home field didn't really show up in that game against Miami earlier this year, but it'll be a fun one to watch.
And A&M with the new coach coming over from Duke. He's former, he's from the Texas area and all that, so he knows it. But there's maybe a little while for him to get his plan in place, and maybe this is one where Florida can steal one that they may not be thinking about.
Well, Florida should win at home.
Yeah.
Against whoever they're playing, if it's traditional Florida. So
I got OU 23, Tulane 21.
I like the lower scoring. A win will be a win. Just get to the SEC play.
12-10. Doesn't matter. Just win, baby, win. All right, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the OU Football Preview Show. Appreciate you watching.
You are the most beautiful creation under the sun. Daily Jamformations. You are going to make Table 14 so happy. And you are being taken away.
All right. At Neighborhood Jam, you deserve breakfast as beautiful as you. So start the day right with scratch-made favorites, morning or midday, every day. Treat yourself to Neighborhood Jam.
You're gonna taste just as good tomorrow.
Come see Paul at the Mattress Place. He is Sooner born and wants to take care of his fellow Oklahomans. The Mattress Place has a nice queen pillow top mattress starting as low as $2.99 and kings for only $3.99. They carry Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and much more. The Mattress Place has a large selection and fast delivery. Located between Penn and Western on Southwest 59th Street. Buy your groceries in your neighborhood, but buy your mattresses at the Mattress Place. Hi friends. Did you know that over 80 million men and women suffer from hair loss? Well, now there's help. Dr. Victoria Johnson and her staff at Laser Light Skin Clinic are introducing a revolutionary laser hair loss treatment called Alma-Ted. Alma-Ted uses a proprietary laser that will help stop hair loss and promote growth. For more information, give Dr. Victoria Johnson and her staff at Laser Light a call and stop hair loss today.